What's up, everybody? John Eric Poli here with My MMA News, and today's guest is coming off a unanimous decision win over Da'mon Blackshear at UFC 292, joined today by Mario Bautista. Mario, first off, man, congratulations on the win, and it's nice to see you as always.
Thank you. Thanks. Fun to be back.
So, obviously, no secret, and we've talked about this a bunch of times. I know it was mentioned, I believe, at the press conference by a few people. Obviously, you and Sean O'Malley are teammates. So, big win for you, first off, being on the main card. Then your teammate goes out, wins the championship. I'm sure the vibes are very high in the gym. Just what was it like, post-fight for you to be able to celebrate not only your win, but your teammate's massive win and just kind of everybody all being together there in Boston?
Oh man, it was pretty amazing. Sean went out there and did his thing. I did my thing, and I couldn't be more happier for him, and not only for him but for our gym as well. And just continues to prove that we're one of the best gyms in the world, especially in the 135-pound division.
And we're going to get to your performance and everything about that. But while we're on the topic of, celebrating the wins with the team and everything, I just want to quickly get to Sean O'Malley there. Just your thoughts on his performance. Obviously, spectacular knockout, championship, arena's going crazy. A lot of big things there.
Man, I thought it was amazing. I even felt a lot better once he defended that first takedown. Once he did that, man, I just knew Sean. It was just a matter of time, whether if it was going to be in the later rounds or, in that second round. So I was pretty happy for sure.
And how much have you gotten to speak to him since the win? Have you guys gotten to exchange words and everything, or maybe just a little bit, right afterwards there in Boston?
No, we got flown out, so we made it back to the hotel maybe around 1 in the morning and had to get on the shuttle at 4:30, take off by 6. So I didn't really get to talk to Sean much, but I'm sure I'll see him pretty soon, or I'll hear from him pretty soon. I imagine once you're the champ, you're going to be busy for a little bit.
Yeah, that's for sure. A lot of big things coming up there with the champion status for him. That's for sure. All right, let's get into your performance now here a little bit. Let's actually back up before we even get into the actual performance. We did an interview before the fight. At that moment in time, you were supposed to be fighting Cody Garbrandt. Obviously, everything speaks for itself there. Cody being a former champion, it's a big name for you that you wanted. Gave you a chance for a win again to the rankings. Of course, him pulling out, all that stuff goes to the wayside. Just kind of explain everything that all took place, because it happened all within a short period of time, like 7 days before the fight, because when everybody learned he wasn't going to be fighting, and then Da'mon gets the win and jumps right in there. So explain everything that kind of occurred with that situation and everything.
Yeah, I think it was 1 week before the fight, Saturday morning, I got a call from a manager saying that Cody was out and that they're going to be looking for a replacement. So by the end of the night, Da'mon wins. He puts his name out there, and we wait until I think it was Monday to see what other options we had, as far as like maybe someone in the top 15 would take it on short notice, but no one else did. So we went with Da'mon, and and he was coming off that twister submission, so at the very least he had some shine. But man, it was tough. A few people were telling me maybe not to take this fight. It's a big risk, but at the end of the day, I'm a fighter and I put in a lot of work, and I just wanted to go out there and perform. And then I was happy with the UFC. They kept me on the main card. So I was still able to have some eyes on me. And yeah, and that's how it all played out. I had to adjust on the fly and, came out with a victory.
And you mentioned, people telling you it's going to be a big risk. Well, that's obviously blatantly obvious with it being the risk. The other thing about it, though, is just how hard it is to get prepared for somebody on last minute. Of course, Da'mon's skill set, nothing like Cody's skill set. At least when you have a guy similar to one another, you can kind of, feed off. A lot of things might stay the same. How hard is it in those moments when you only have, not even 7 days, was it 6 days or 5 days really to prepare for him? I'm sure that's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, and it's not easy. It's not like you could practice hard to make those adjustments, because by then you're just doing maintenance, keeping shape, cutting weight. So you're obviously not going to do anything crazy. So it's just like a lot of video review, a lot of twister review, and and that was pretty much it. I had to make a lot of my adjustments in the fight, and yeah, like I said, but my fighting spirit was still there. I was still going to go out there and fight whoever it was. But definitely for the next one, we're going to be more prepared.
Okay, so I know you had mentioned before one of the cool things was that they did leave you on the main card, so there was a lot of eyes on you. One thing with being on the main card is now, obviously, right before the fight, there's the whole big press conference. You get to be a part of it. If I'm not mistaken, your first time being up on one of those big stages like that for a press conference, and you even admit you have no problem doing interviews, but maybe you're not the most outspoken person as compared to other people. How did you like that experience of being up there for a press conference on a big stage like that?
Yeah, I didn't mind it so much. I knew I was probably going to get asked like probably the least amount of questions. But no, it was awesome, to see the Boston fans, to see the Suge fans, to see some of these fighters go back and forth between each other. It was pretty fun. It was pretty loud. I could barely hear Ian right next to me when he was yelling, from the not only him and the fans. So it was a pretty cool experience. Like I said, like with this Cody fight falling out, if I didn't take this fight, I would have missed out on all that, and that's experience as well. So I'm glad I stuck with it and was able to experience all that.
All right, so now let's get in the actual body of work itself. This fight here at UFC 292. We'll start with the opening round. Da'mon, no surprise, taking this fight at short notice, as most people that do take short notice fights usually do. They come out guns blazing. He, of course, goes right into the wrestling. I know every time he would take you down, you'd get right back up. But just kind of take us through that opening round, what that was like. Obviously, we said, right, not a lot of time to prepare for him, just kind of seeing everything kind of all unfold so quickly on the fly like that.
Yeah, I mean, he came out hot, and I knew he was going to. He always does, and in watching the video or his fights, starts out hot and then kind of dies down towards the end. So that's something I had to trust would happen, and I just had to keep fighting to that first round, like you said, keep getting back up, keep scrambling, keep moving, and that he would fade eventually. But yeah, definitely the size and the strength of him was getting to me in the first round for sure, because that's definitely not Cody. So that was getting to me, and like I said, I just had to wait it out, wait for him to start fading, and then start picking it up in those later rounds.
And he did indeed start fading there in round two. I wanted to ask about that. Obviously, you were kind of expecting it. Now, obviously, you can't take anything for granted either. What was the adjustments between round one and round two to, be able to pick that steam up and have that strong second round? And then we'll get in the third round in a moment. You're able to finish so strongly. But what was that adjustment between round one and round two to really start swinging that momentum into your favor?
It was just about staying mentally strong, just keep pushing the pace, like make the exchanges happen on my part, me setting the pace and taking control of, the timing and everything of when we're exchanging, when we're wrestling. So that was definitely the thing, like I said, I knew he would fade. It's just, I couldn't get down on myself after that first round. If I get down on myself after the first round and, feel like I'm losing and then me not, do what I'm supposed to in those second and third rounds, then I lose the whole fight completely by unanimous decision. So, like I said, it was just about staying strong mentally and, just wait for him to fade.
And I think one judge did score the fight 30-27, but the other two had it 1-1 going that last round. I'm sure probably your corner maybe even, I would assume, have told you that same thing, 1-1 going the last round. Just talk then about that third round, coming out, being mentally sharp yet again, and putting the final stamp on that fight to get the win and keep moving forward here.
Yeah, going into that third round, yeah, whoever did 30-27, I didn't even agree with that, but going into the third, it just came down to who wanted it more. And I definitely wanted it more. I had a lot more control time in that round than he did through that whole fight over me. So, and even that last 10 seconds, getting that last takedown and ending up on top, I think if we look each other in the eyes, we know who won that fight for sure. But once the fight was over, I thought we would be going to a split decision for sure, you know. So once I heard unanimous, I knew things were going to get weird, and so I think that's where a lot of the controversy comes from. I think if it was a split decision, it wouldn't be so much controversy.
Yeah, it's funny. When I first heard 30-27, I immediately knew it went your way too. Obviously, clear cut that you definitely won that last round. And hey, great fight though. I mean, Da'mon, give him credit too,
Oh
being a
yeah.
game opponent on short notice. And I guess that now leads us with the obvious question. Now here is, what's next? I know you like to be active. Is the plan to get in by the end of the year for sure? Now that you've finished this fight, what's kind of the roadmap here going forward?
Just get back into the gym. I want to get one more in. I think there's one in Vegas in December, so I'm looking to get on that. I think Sean O'Malley's trying to get on that card as well. So I think it'd be fun to jump on that card with him and get an extra one at the end of the year. So hopefully it's a top 15, and we'll see how things play out.
And obviously, we don't know what Cody's status is, given that he was supposed to be the original guy. Is that on the card still, or are you completely finished with that, or you don't even care who the opponent is as long as it's a bigger named opponent, maybe even somebody that's ranked here because you're on an incredible stretch here?
Yeah. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to wait for Cody. I don't know what he's going through right now. So if he's going to be back by December, then maybe. But if he's going to be out for a year or doing whatever, I'm not sure. It's risky taking that fight again because he's has health issues like that he's had from COVID and this and that. So I think it'd be risky to take it again, and then for something to happen, it would be another letdown. So either a big name or definitely top 15.
And I was going to say, I mean, at this juncture here, I mean, you got to figure a ranked guy has got to be coming up at some point here. I mean, everything that you've been putting together, are there any frustrations yet that you still don't have that number next to your name after all the great performances you've been stringing together? Obviously, you have that nice professional record. I believe, 13-2 it is now. I mean, all roads lead that you probably should be ranked already. If not, definitely be getting some ranked guys here.
Yeah, I'm not frustrated at this point, but we'll see what they give me these next as a next opponent next. If they try to lowball me, then I think I'll start expressing some frustration. But at the moment, I'm confident with my win streak. I think it's the second longest active win streak in the bantamweight division right now. So I'm confident with where I'm at, and I don't think I don't think they'll give me a low ball kind of fight. So, but like I said, we'll see how things pan out, and we'll go from there.
All right, Mario, appreciate the time as always, man. Again, congrats on the win. As always, last thing before you head out for the day, social media. This way people know where to follow you at. You have management, sponsorships, all that good stuff, man. Floor is yours. Take it away.
Yeah, just want to thank the MMA Lab team for helping me out, Iridium Sports Agency. And you guys can find me on Instagram at Mario_Bautista MMA. And then just obviously wanted to thank you for having me back on.